in here, forced induction supercharger. And this thing is instantly already faster. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh dear, it's so much faster that it was struggling to keep it under control going around corners. I just keep revealing more and more car bodies. Like literally, the last video I made, I didn't scroll down beyond here. And now I see we've got like these LMP1 almost type supercars. And I really want to give one a try. Now, I know that shorter wheelbase cars really, really suck. So I should go for a long one. So here we are going to do carbon fiber. I want to create something like some kind of LMP1 Lotus. And you know what I really love about this is I love cars with really, really small overhangs. So that's why I really wanted to try this one out. I think this is going to be a fantabulous little car. And we are going to try to give it actually a reasonable engine. So we're going to go with, I think Lotus have monocoque, so we're going to go with a monocoque there. And then chassis material is also going to be carbon fiber. We're going to go mid-transverse, double wishbone. Oh, actually, no. Oh, they probably have some push rods in there, right? I don't know, but we're going to see what do we do. Then a new engine. And we are going to go for their very basic Toyota inline 4-cylinder. And we're going to stick on the supercharger mod for it. So, which one's lighter? This one, we're not going to go magnesium. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's a Toyota engine. So it's just going to be regular old aluminium. Then we're going to have dual overcam, 4 valves per cylinder, aluminium. You know what? I think they might have a 5-valve version, but I'm not sure if they put that in the Lotus. So we're going to leave that for now. I really don't know what Lotus put in their cars these days. I kind of lost interest when they started putting out that one, like, what was it, a Vor or something? I looked at it and went, yeah, I'm not into Vor. And also this car looks boring. So yeah, cast iron, cast and cast. We'll see how that's going to deal with it later on as we, I realized I forgot to change this. So it's about a 2 liter. I was about to say a 1 liter. So it's about a 2 liter. There you go, 2 liters. Current engine does not fit. It is too high apparently. Oh, well, stop doing drugs. Maybe we should drop this down in size then to a less of a stroke car. There we go, we've got a 1.7 liter. So yeah, we're gonna put on a really big supercharger onto this thing because it's not so much about the power and stuff like that, all the efficiencies, all that kind of stuff. It's all about the pure driving experience. And a turbo car comes with a compromise to that. So we are going to go supercharged. So we're going to have a fairly high cam profile, but not a drastic cam profile. So something like a 65. Then we're going to have variable valve timing in all camshafts, no turbo, fuel injection, probably direct injection, per cylinder, and a race intake. So we've got this really lovely trumpet thing, except for the fact that it is enclosed with a supercharger. So we're gonna go with performance for now, and we'll just say that that's what that is. Oh, you know what? It's carbon fiber anyway, so I don't actually mind. That's pretty good. Love it. Let's move on. Actually, hold on, let's up that up, yeah. Let's move on. Then they've probably got either tubular, long tubular, or race. I'm gonna say, since it's this sort of company, that they're probably going to go with a race one. They really do like their engines quite a lot. And then they're gonna go especially a high flow. Then what are we gonna do here? Probably a straight through, and then probably a nothing, and just have a buttload of sound. So we're gonna up the RPM quite a chunky amount. Then turn that compression up because we got really high octane fuel. We are not gonna play much with the cam. We're gonna leave the cam as it is, so that's not something we have to concern ourselves with. The exhaust is probably gonna be up to something like a 3-inch. Oh, you know what, actually, it is hurting our power. A 2.5? No, we are going to go a 3-inch because there's going to be a supercharger on here, even though it's actually hurting our power here, and it doesn't actually make it effect if we put the supercharger on. I just like the idea that we're trying to roleplay seriously that we got a supercharger on here, as opposed to just going, oh, well, we don't really need the supercharger, do we? And we're going to add a little bit of extra fuel here. We're going to leave our compression ratio where it is and just move on from there. So 132 kilowatts, that's actually a pretty decent amount for a 1.7 liter. Not going to lie, I mean, yes, you can get more from it, but this is what we're going with. And let's, oh, you know what, actually, before we hear what it sounds like, we're going to give this a bit of a nice look. So we got Nissan RB looking one, which is the 90s space age, weirdly. 80s classic, which I like, but I'm not sure about. And then basic. You know, that's probably what they have, but this is Lotus, and they had these really lovely looking ones, I'm pretty sure. So that's what we're going to have. Then those ones can just stay a nice chromy color. Oh wait, I can change the bolt color as well. So bolts, here we can go. We can also have them black as well. Yes, I like it. Then intake manifold. We can keep it carbon fiber, or we can change the color of it. I think we're going to keep it carbon fiber looking because I like the look of it. Then the valve trim color, which will be this, I think we're going to leave just brushed metal, which I love. I love the look of that so goddamn much. This is without the supercharger, and it's not going to change, I don't think, with the supercharger, but let's give it a listen. That's pretty good. I like it. Let's move on. So here we got the very weird body style. Now I get the feeling that these weird lines here, so then you could do lots of morphing. Oh, I was wrong. Actually, it's just jank. What is this? Well, I get the feeling that they want you to put on those new 3D shapes to make this look a whole lot better. They do like to widen out their cars to give them that, like, nice bowl type look. Can we bring the... Yes, we can make it even shorter. Oh, that's a no from me. But we're not going to have that completely up. We're going to have that kind of mildly out. Yeah, we're going to bring that in, which is a thing we can do. Then we can... Oh my goodness. That looks hideous. Let's bring that back a bit and have that about there. And then we'll have some sort of lip on there. And I think this is where we're going to leave it. I wish that there was something else to do around here about whatever this weird jankiness is, because it's not particularly great. But we're going to move on from here now. A lot of Lotuses come in black, so we're going to add a black color here. It's going to have, yes, lots of metallic in it, lots of shine. Because I think that's just a very normal color sort of thing. Oh no, it's interfering. Oh well. Then we're probably going to have some sort of dual clutch. It's going to be a flappy paddle, and we probably will have a 7-speed. Up that top speed, we're going to go for about 300 something kilometers an hour. Then probably an electronic, I don't know, do they actually go a lot into electronics? Let's just go with a geared one. Something that's really nice and solid. Oh, I can only go rear-wheel drive? I can't go all-wheel? Oh dear. Okay, well, the thing is going to be fairly low on power, so it's fine. Then radials, semi-slicks, yes. Widen out these tires quite a lot because they don't care about things like efficiency. They just want lots and lots of traction. Then we're going to make them fill out those wheel wells. Then they're going to be made out of alloy, even though, you know what? They probably have carbon fiber. I just realized that was an option. Then they probably have carbon ceramics. I really don't know what Lotus have these days. One piston carbic ceramin? Carbic ceramin. Yes, that's what we're going to have. Then fully clad, because that is the best, though I don't know if they've actually changed anything here. We might have to look into that and do a little bit of experimenting. Now, they are going to want a lot of brake airflow. The engine cooling in these things are not ever particularly amazing, so we're going to leave that just a little bit lower, but hopefully not actually affect the engine. This is not a 5-seater car. What the heck are they thinking? Anyway, we're gonna go with sports, then a very basic infotainment. So they're going to have a radio, but that's about it. Then we're going to have, I doubt that they're gonna have electric. So we're gonna go with hydraulic. Because, yeah, even there it says it's more sporting. So that's what we're going to have. We're going to have traction control and ABS, but no electronic stability control. We're going to have, then, probably like a basic safety, so like a really good seatbelt, all that kind of stuff, but it's going to be a higher quality. Because it's going to have like a 5-point or a 3-point or something like that. Sorry, not a 3-point seatbelt. A 4 or 5-point seatbelt, my bad. Then we are going to go with just still a very passive type suspension. We're going to have that. We're going to have gas, monotube, and passive. for a very, very predictable setup. And we're just going to select race. We are not going to bother too much about much else. And then dump it, lower it as much to the ground. This thing is going to bottom out so badly, but that's, I mean, kinda what's going to happen. I really do feel as if you're meant to be able to morph this down, but for some reason it's weird. It's also not aerodynamic. Like, air coming over here and then hitting that's not good. Why is that there? Now we're gonna go with a high drivability and lower sportiness, even though I don't think that that's exactly what we want. Let's reselect race here and then dump it on its guts. I think we have done a fairly decent job here. Our top speed, you know what, actually, we can raise that top speed even more, because we are going to have a supercharger, and this thing is going to go considerably faster than what we think. 391, so it reckons that we're going to go somewhere around 300 just as it is, basically. We've got next to no wheel spin, semi-slick tires. Our brakes are a little too powerful, so we're going to make them a little bit smaller and then make the discs a little bit smaller. But we do have ABS, so we're not too concerned. You know, honestly, I was hoping to put my brake pad up more to race, since that's kind of how you feel when you're driving a Lotus. And you know what, actually, this is all going to change with brake pad, putting aero on anyway. So I don't know why I'm doing that right now. Let's go on and start doing some aero. So here we go with our downforce. We have a front downforce splitter here, which is a mod, so it's not actually just a splitter, it's actually proper downforce. Then we got the downforce here from these little nubbins on the side, which aren't meant really for downforce in real life either. They're meant to create vortices that go the length of the car, reducing drag along the side. Then we've got the rear wing up here, which is purely for downforce. And then we've got here the diffuser, which is not a standard diffuser, it's actually a rear wing, but it creates downforce for us as well. Here we have our massively downforced car. Let's see what we generate. That's, you know, it's only about 150, so we can go a lot more than that currently. Car likes to bottom out, so let's fix that. I wish there was some sort of line that said, at this point, there is too much downforce and it's bottoming out, as opposed to me just having to guess what it is. You know what, we might just have to say, yeah, sure, this car bottoms out, because I'm unwilling to really do a whole lot more about that, since the downforce is not really entirely accurate, if I'm honest. Not a downforce accurate. The bottoming out thing is not really accurate. See, currently we're generating only a couple hundred kilos. That's like 2 fat men. If 2 fat men just got inside the car, this thing would then be bottoming out. Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that you can't? Oh, I suppose those seats are really small. Let's continue on and make this thing look pretty. Hold on, what do we got here for downforce? I forgot to check that. Okay, so we got a considerably less thing now. Then for brakes, we are going to want to go a little bit more to the front, please. Okay, I think we're good. This seems good to me. Let's move on. Yeah, let's finish off the beautification process, and we're gonna start by doing this. So here we have weirdly tinted green, or maybe that's just my monitor. Oh, you know what? I forgot to name this car. We're gonna call this the not the Lotus. I was about to call it the POTUS. Why is that stuck in the middle of the... Why is that? What? What? Oh, just ignore that for now. This is the, not the POTUS. I don't know what to call this. The Podunk? I suppose it is pretty rubbish. So, I'm not entirely sure what to call this. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board on the name, but I really do like the design of this, so I've just realized that this goes into the headlight. I might have to rearrange the layering there a smidgen. I really do like this. It's a bit of a weird body design, but I think I've made it work decently on the front here, as you can see. Let's deselect. There we go. Now we can actually just get a good look at it, though I've got it zoomed in really far. I think this is good to go over to BeamNG. Maybe if I put a badge on the back, maybe give this car a name, which I can't even think of, and I'll see that. There we go. That works, right? You know what, actually, before we go over there, we're going to see if we can try to replicate this lap time. this lap time. There we go. And a 208, you know, pretty good. I would want a little bit more than that, but we still have to put the supercharger on. That's the thing I forgot I was doing. Wow, I can't believe that. Hold on. That means it did a 208. Go away. With 132 kilowatts. Oh my God. That is stupidly far. What? Okay, maybe we shouldn't give it too much power because that might unsettle the car just a smidge. So here we have the base car. We haven't put the supercharger on it yet. I just wanted to give this thing a bit of a try before we make this thing go completely ballistic. And wow, it really gets off the line quite well. You know, for 130 something kilowatts, this thing actually has a huge amount of pep. How much does this car weigh? Hold on, let's quickly stick a scale out here. So it reckons this car weighs less than 800 kilograms. That would go a little ways as to explaining why this thing is so fast with so little amount of power. This thing is basically a go-kart, and I love it. Now, I think I found where this bottoming out issue is, kind of, but not really. Yeah, okay. Well, there's a problem. And this thing is going to have a lot of issues, I suppose. And especially now with the new way in which things are put onto cars, this is probably going to be a thing that pops up a lot for people. Though just driving around, this thing is not so bad. I want to check out the interior. Also, I want to check to see, because I did complete undercladding for this car. Oh, wow, this thing grips really well. Oh my God, the brakes are phenomenal. Except the fact that under braking, that front lip there scrapes a little bit, and that does... I find it irksome. I'm not a big fan of it. Let's go around the corner, come on. This thing could do with a lot more power, but let's see whether this thing reaches down the back straight before we put the supercharger on. This will be the last thing we do. We're gonna see how fast it goes, and then see how fast it goes around the corner with this lovely flappy battle gearbox. Okay, with the scraping and everything, this thing is struggling to get over 200, but I get the feeling this thing is going to take this at really good speeds. There, see that? It was so easy, it just turned in like nothing. It was like cutting through butter. And I'm actually trying to lose control right now. This thing doesn't want to lose control. It's got so much traction. All right, let's give this thing the power it deserves. In here, forced induction supercharger. Now immediately it goes up to about 250 kilowatts. Do we? Oh wait, is that that's PS. Also, this is not a regular supercharger. This is one of those centrifugal superchargers. I may go in and tweak this to actually give it like a proper power band. That's a centrifugal supercharger as opposed to, or a vortex, some people call it, as opposed to the normal sort of supercharger that they would have in Lotus, which just gives it power way down here and up here. For now, let's just up this ratio just a smidge. 1.6, let's see what that does. From 250 to nearly 300. Let's go a little bit more than that. So we've gone 1.1 PSI and a gear ratio of 1.6. Let's go into realistic here and see what it says the power is up here. Yes, 300. That's kind of what I would like for a car like this at a very minimum. You may want to take this thing up to maybe 600 horsepower. Who knows? But that's what we're going with for now. What is up with that front grille? Not grill, front vent part. Well, let's give this thing a bit of a buzz around. And this thing is instantly already faster. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, dear. It's so much faster that it was struggling to keep it under control going around corners. This thing is... wow. So fast. I want to fix this bug out issue. How's its brakes? Oh, my God. Not only did it slow down enough, it came to a complete stop after braking what I would consider fairly late. This is going to be an absolute weapon as a car. That's weapon. I may as well tell you this little bit of a tidbit of information. As a dyslexic person, I was taught to sound things out when I was doing like my phonetics classes and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things you do is you say words the way in which they're spelled. So I'll start weapon because it's not spelled W-E-P-O-N. It's W-E-A-P-O-N. So it's weapon. So if you ever hear me say weapon, I'm saying that. And together is together. Just a whole bunch of little tricks of things like that. But let's go try to do a proper lap with this car. There is going to be a version of this in the description which you can download, and you can see here that I'm actually using the 300 horsepower version. I just don't want this up here when I'm trying to race, so we're going to remove that for now and then go ahead and start. So when you set Discord to do a, what would you call it? A non-competitive lap time, so then you can do things like put superchargers and battery packs in your car. Then it does this weird thing where it will, the first time you've set your car up, or spawned your car, it will allow you to take off without the timer going. So it's a little bit jank, but you know what, I probably could have actually taken that at full speed. But we're just going to see what this car does on its first lap around, and we've gone wide. So there is a little bit of an understeer problem, and I'm not quite sure how one might fix it. But for now, we're just going to go along with this. Maybe if with a little bit more downforce on the front. I did want to kind of go with the actual thing where there's more weight in the rear, so you put more downforce in the rear. But maybe I should have put more downforce in the front. But this whole front scraping thing is really starting to irritate me, because it makes me feel as if like I've not made a realistic car, but I have. I truly have. So 233, we're going around here at full speed. Probably could have gone a hell of a lot faster around here. Leaving your car to be modified by your customer base is a common practice. Like Lotus themselves expect people to take their cars and then do things like stick on a better performing pod filter, a better performing rear diffuser. They kind of leave the car for you to do what you want to do. And the butt jiggle. What is it about carbon fiber that creates cars with weird jiggles all over the place? It is not really what you would expect from carbon fiber, I suppose. They're jiggle. That's totally the car twerking. Like, you see twerking cars, but this one is twerking hardcore. Oh, come on, get around, and there we go. And let's power it on. Oh, wow, with this extra power, we haven't actually done better than the computer version. We did a 214, but now this is gonna allow me to show you something. My new fastest car is not really any different from what it was before. I just fixed the scraping issue. It's the Suzucorn. And I strongly suggest you go into the BeamNG mods area and have a look at this car and give it a try. I love this car so goddamn much. It is a little unstable going around hairpins, but aside from that, this thing is amazing, and I really do suggest you check out the Suzucorn. But for now, I'm gonna do a try hard. I'm going to not talk, I'm gonna be completely quiet, and I'm going to do this again. Well, it doesn't look like I can make this thing a whole lot faster, so that's as best as we can do. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I have enjoyed this car. It is really fun. I'm gonna fix it a little bit before I put it back up onto the thing to upload for you guys. But for now, oh yeah, also, I don't like to beg for money. So that's why I put this right at the end here. I'm not gonna put it up front. You don't need to do this, but I have linked a Patreon in the bottom if you would like to help me out. I am going through a bit of a rough patch. I won't go broke, but it is really digging into my savings. I've had car problems, as you've seen. I've had my computer problems, and now my dog is sick, which is just the trifecta. And it's already cost me about $1,000 in just basically one big vet visit, and I've got to do it again tomorrow, and then the day after that probably, and they're gonna drain me from my blood, even though it's not me they're meant to take the blood from, it's my dog. I'm sorry. Anyway, he probably will be okay. They reckon he will be fine, but they just really want to monitor him really closely. They think it's pancreatitis, they're not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm not going to take the risk. I am going to go and make sure that he's healthy and try not to go broke in the meantime. Thank you guys for coming today, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.